Welcome to TNT, baby, the naked truth with Taylor Armstrong, where I'm going to expose everything about my life, and my guests are going to come on, get naked with me, and bear it all. Now let's get naked. Welcome to the Naked Truth. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Gemma.
And today we are going to have a beauty banging time. And why is that? Because I have 4 beauties with me, and we're going to talk about the latest and friggin' greatest in all things beauty. You're going to learn so much today, and I'm going to learn so much today. I cannot wait. Let's just dive right in. I have Amber from Facial Lounge, who has the best facials in Orange County, I have to say. And I have Annina from Annina Aesthetics, and I can't wait to hear all about this red light therapy stuff that you're doing. And then I have Tammy from Gravity Med Spa, where they get it all done, put it all together. Between you 3, I feel like you can be beautiful from
Absolutely,
the inside out and outside in.
I
It's
love
the whole
that.
package.
I love that.
I love it too. So we met, all of us, because you donated to our Ultimate Mother's Day giveaway, which is such an incredible package that we were so thrilled to have all of your beauty and internal beauty and external beauty to share with moms on Mother's Day. So first of all, thank you for that. Okay, so I want to jump right in. Amber, when did you start Facial Lounge? What made you get excited about facials?
Oh, that's such a great question. I have been doing facials for 24 years. I started my business 24 years ago. I was a buyer at Mother's Market back in the 90s, and that's when I learned a lot about the ugly side of skincare and the medical side. I worked for Dr. Fulton in the 90s, who made benzoyl peroxide. He was actually my doctor. I had severe acne, and so I was in love with benzoyl peroxide back then, and he developed retin-A, he developed mandelic acid. He was amazing. So I make a joke. He never hired me. I never left. I was very
It was the unofficial official.
Yeah, I just fell in love with it. But I was really frustrated because no one was listening to me about animal testing. I was born and raised vegetarian, and I was really frustrated at the behind the scenes of skincare. So that's what kind of brought me into it. I dreamed of having a skincare line. I never thought it was going to come. I worked for so many companies trying to have them do what I was saying, where it's actually medical, it actually works, and it's clean, because a lot of in the 90s, nothing was clean. There's ingredients and fragrance.
So you're really
and
on
colors.
the forefront of that.
Yeah.
In your industry.
And it's super exciting for me. People think, they'll tell me, oh my God, all these people clean up their act, and they think I'm mad, and I'm excited. I'm like, it's working. Like, I want all skincare to be clean. I don't want to be the only one. So
When you say clean skincare, what does that entail? What does that mean,
Well,
like clean?
That's a great question. Yeah. First of all, animal testing was super important to me. And so a lot of things can be clean, but they still have animal testing. They're not vegan. So that's a very important thing. But clean is not a lot of toxins. So there's no toxic
Chemicals.
ingredients. It started off a lot in the 90s, where we found out parabens were bad and they weren't listening. And they're linked to a lot of cancers and a lot of health issues. They mimic hormones and estrogen. So preservatives are important, but there's certain types of a preservative. So like our skincare, we have packaging. We did stability testing to find out what skincare can last the longest without having the harshest preservatives and still keep
So besides
stable.
having your facials and your locations, you actually sell skincare as well.
Correct.
Oh,
So
awesome.
skincare is my passion. Facials it was so hard to find. Most places don't do like extractions like a lot of dermatologists I worked for. It was a lot of just writing prescriptions, and no one was really taking time to do the extractions.
Isn't that like a lot of things?
Yeah.
I know that you've experienced some of that
Yes,
recently
I have
as well.
Yes, absolutely. It seems like back in the 90s, people believed that if it didn't like burn or do something crazy, then it wasn't
That's how I
working.
feel, too,
It sounds so antiquated now because it's come so far. But do you think that's been a big mind shift?
It's true. There was a moment I took the word vegan off my skincare. I remember doing events. People were like, I don't want vegan. I want it to work.
Right.
I'm like, this
Right.
works. This is science. I didn't know how to verbalize it. And it really was social media that put me on the map and actually helped me educate people. I remember the owner of the shop Laguna, her name's Jessica, made me make an Instagram. I'm like, what am I going to do? Show like people's faces all mad after a facial? I mean, I have nothing good to show. But then once I started, it took me a long time to figure it out. Like,
and then you became a queen.
Yeah.
A social media
and
queen.
Well, this is a really funny story. So I was, the girls from The Bachelor, Amanda Stanton's one of my good clients for like a long time. This is when Instagram Live was brand new. And she was telling me, I'm going to go live. This is a real story. And I thought live meant she's answering questions. I didn't know that and this is when the show was like big, you know, I mean, she's still big. I'm just saying this was like, everyone's tapping into live. It was like new. And so she was going live in my facials and asking me questions, but I thought they were DMs. And I didn't know that I'm on camera and I'm like in the back. I remember like chewing gum and, you know, talking shit. And someone's like, should I use toothpaste? I'm like, why would you use toothpaste? There's so much good ingredient. And I was totally myself. And the phone started ringing. I'm like, what is happening? and literally put me on like that one day. Really, I mean,
Right.
people are like would see me and be like, I saw you in Amanda's, and this is when. So, anyways, I didn't know
I
what live
remember.
was for a little too long. Like the girls were coming in, and one day I'm like, wait, you mean I'm on camera? Like.
Yeah.
No one explained what live was. That's how much I didn't
People
understand
were
social
attracted
media.
to it. It was authentic.
It
wasn't
was,
like it
and
was
I
like
got
a
to learn.
commercial.
Loved it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I got to learn that, and then I never did that again.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
you
I
should do it all the
became-
time.
I know, but I'm just saying I'm a little more polished
Yeah.
on camera, and I want to, I want the no filter to look thinner. Like I like to have like
All right.
I like
The
to
no
do those
filter
things
filter.
to like look a
You
little.
like to know what's
But
happening.
there is exactly true. People love the authenticity and like
Mm-hmm.
being yourself, which is nice, especially in aesthetics when you're supposed to be perfect.
Right.
Just being yourself. And I had a messy bun, and like at the time my kids were little, and I remember like having to rush. We're on live. I'm like, bye, bitch. I gotta go. Like I gotta go get my kids.
I gotta go.
Like I was just myself, and everyone's like, she's fun. So that was it
And
was
you don't need a
cool trip.
filter. By the way, I'm staring at you, and your
Yeah,
skin is
thank you.
perfection.
Right.
So if
Oh,
Facial
of
Lounge
course.
does that, I'll
I
be right over once
Thank
again.
you.
Of course. So
Right.
what is the most important thing in the core of your formulations that you feel is kind of your anchor?
That's a great question. We make a lot of products because it's not one size fits all for skincare, you guys know. But something that's really important to me is antioxidants and things that are stable. So I work with a lot of labs. We do a lot of studies. I'm very lucky to be behind the scenes on studies. The Samuelis were one of my first clients. They own the Ducks, but they also built a place called the Susan Samueli Center for Integrative Medicine. It's at UCI, and it's a 100,000 square foot facility.
Whoa.
It's unbelievable.
We need to go there.
We all have to go.
Right?
You guys will freak out what they're doing. They have valet when
Can
you
we
go to the
get
doctors.
a tour?
Oh, it's unbelievable. They have
Yeah.
cooking classes.
Good question.
But I was there, yes.
Yeah.
Let's lock
Yes.
that
Yes.
answer
Yes.
in now.
Do
I
that.
smell a tour.
Yeah,
I
I'm
smell
there.
a
It's
tour.
amazing. But I was also behind the scenes, and I was really lucky because this was a hope and a dream. I remember meeting, and they were saying they were going to build all these things, and I didn't really realize. I mean, I knew it was coming, but I didn't. I remember seeing it and was like, wow, it was there from the beginning. But a lot of those doctors on behind the scenes, they're doing real studies on stuff
Right.
and anti-aging, but
Like they really care.
they really care. There's
Yeah.
nobody benefiting from this.
Right.
So, and a lot of
Wow,
doctors
that's
doing the
saying
red
a lot.
light therapy studies, which is one of my favorite things, and her specialty, which is something so amazing. Infrared sauna studies. They did a blueberry study. They did a green
Really?
tea study just for funsies.
Oh my
So,
gosh, that sounds
Susan,
so
don't
cool.
kill me, but I don't even know if this is supposed to be. These are just for like real things.
So
I don't
they're
know
like not funded by any specific
Nothing.
agenda. It's like they
like
actually
Bigelow,
like science want to know the answer. They care.
Bigelow, whatever
Yeah.
that tea is,
Yes.
was the highest EGCG, and it's the cheapest tea. Now, not the cleanest. There's probably pesticides, but I'm just saying they were trying to find certain things, and I just remember geeking out all the people doing the studies. I was like, it was just so fun to be behind it, and then learning what antioxidants are doing and how they're using it in skincare, and they're using it for gut health and how important gut health is for the skin. And then my dad studies epigenetics, so it's
Yes.
interesting
Yeah.
on like what your genetics do. So a lot of people, I can go on this. But
I
I'll just
know
go
this is why
basic.
you're so
This is
awesome.
my
That's
favorite
right.
thing. I talk fast when I get excited, but one of my favorite things is people go, my grandmother smoked until she was 100, and she's fine. She's 100, she's fine.
Right.
But her grandmother didn't. And what they're
Right.
realizing is if her grandma was smoking, her genetics,
Would have
because
changed.
you're made inside your
Ooh,
grandmother.
Oh,
So you're
yes.
made inside your
Okay.
grandmother. So your egg, all of our eggs were
Right.
inside of our grandmothers
Okay.
as eggs.
This is
So
the epigenetics.
this is epigenetics.
Yeah, okay.
So what they're finding is whatever your grandmother went through is affecting your genetics
Right.
is affecting us now. So my dad says they give them like piano keys. So if your grandmother was a smoker and she was pregnant with your mother,
Right.
you have the genetic markers for more cancer because that genetic was damaged.
I'm thinking of all the things my grandma did right now.
Me too. I know. My
Yeah,
grandma.
she had to
Oh
be
my
pregnant
gosh.
with your mom during that.
Okay, well, I'm
So-
going to have a long talk with my mom when I
Exactly.
get
I
home.
know, right?
So,
Right.
but it does affect us. So when we know this, and these things are reversible, a lot of the antioxidants,
Right.
and there's some ingredients out there that are unbelievable. There's a couple new peptides. Oh my God, I'm freaking out over them. I'm dyslexic, so I don't
Are these
know.
the numbers of peptides? that
Yes.
Are there
Like
numbers? And people are like 157, and
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
what are they saying?
Yeah.
It's a
And I
pretty
have
amazing.
no idea.
And mind
Okay.
you, my father owns Shape Up. That we
Uh-huh.
were just talking. She was a member at Shape Up, but he's been doing them, and he has neuropathy and a foot issue. But my dad's been doing them, and I swear I made a joke. I'm like, Dad, those peptides probably kept you alive because he has a infection in his foot,
Right.
and he looks so good. No one would think, but my dad has to get. He's like,
Is it an injection?
it's an injection.
I love it. Give it to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's
It's
so
an
cool.
injection.
So
Anything
it-
that's
I'll go in the back
injectable.
room.
Yeah, no, it's a thing. So it's pretty neat because I tell people get your hands on some because this is like
Where do
trending.
you get your hands on some?
I get mine from Dr. Barr in Corona del Mar, and she's in Costa Mesa, and I think she's great. I think Center for New Medicine has it, and I think Newport Integrative Health has it. There's a lot of people. There's also another place in.
And is this good for like autoimmune issues too?
It's good. We can't make any claims, but it's good for a lot of things.
Okay.
Are you talking about one in particular?
Inflammation. So they're
that one peptide.
Oh,
yeah,
157. So it's
157.
I'm dyslexic and I call it like everything but BPC. BPC 157.
Is it like NAD?
No,
No,
that's more for the
entirely
brain.
different.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm super
I'm
familiar with
learning.
that
Yeah,
one.
can you
Taylor,
get your
I
hands
feel
on
like
it?
we
Yes, I
have
can.
to
She can get her
try
hands
this.
on it.
Yeah,
So this
that's
is
right.
what we want to know.
Yes.
And they are injecting. I have a bunch of clients who had like shoulder issues from like
Mhm.
tennis. You can inject it in the area, and just after a couple of them, it's pretty amazing. But it affects every cell, so it affects your skin. Like my dad looks younger. I'm like, God, Dad, you look amazing, and he's been doing it for about 6 weeks now.
Wow, 6 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
And
quick.
it's
To notice
and
the
you
difference,
lose
that's
weight.
amazing.
Like it's like makes you look
157.
Works at a
skinnier.
cellular level.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. How do you know? Does everyone get the same cocktail, or is it
For
specific?
that peptide, yes, and they mix it with, and I'm dyslexic, she'll know.
TB 500.
Thank you, I love her.
TV
We're gonna
500.
Yeah, so
Just like
you-
for the win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the win. Ah! So you don't want me to have initials because I would get them all wrong, but that's exactly what you do. And I'm really excited about it because not only is this anti-aging internally, but it helps people with inflammation, and it is, it's amazing.
It's
Yeah.
like everyone needs it, even if you don't know you need it. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean, I feel
It's
like
the
it's
future.
preventative as
Yeah.
It's very
well.
future.
It's
How
very
often do you
medicine.
recommend
Once a
people
week.
get it?
Well, you tell me because I'm learning
It
more.
varies depending on what they're getting it for. In the practice where I learned about it, we treated a lot of athletes, and they would come in for an acute injury. Some of them would come in for older injuries, just because it speeds up and can create healing in muscles that couldn't heal before.
Wow.
So it speeds it up on a cellular level. That ability to heal, it's insane. I
It's
mean,
almost like stem
professional
cell.
athletes,
is it
but
like
only different.
But only different.
Yeah,
It's
It's like
different.
the stem to the stem cell.
kind of.
Yeah.
Or the cell.
You're like, I can
I
see
think-
that.
That's so cool.
I need to
Yeah.
ask my dad, but I think it is
It's like a replication.
it's deeper than that.
Oh,
It,
yeah.
Yeah.
it is. It literally programs the body to do things that the body wasn't able to do,
Oh my!
and do it
Wow.
quickly.
Everybody needs this.
I feel like we
Wow.
should.
So if
We're gonna be
peptides are
researching.
so powerful,
Yeah.
injectables, what about on the surface of your skin?
That's a great. That's so great. And we're working. We don't know the absorption levels, so you want like carriers in your skincare, so that and you want it to be stable because our skin is so hot that if you have a product, it can go rancid. So a lot of skincare, they're not doing that extra testing, which is so important. I think antioxidants are great, vitamin C's, all that. There's so many good ones, but they're not all the same. I tell people it kind of reminds me of water. You want to drink water, but we don't want to drink toilet water.
Right.
We want to drink
Oh,
like
right.
alkaline water.
I
It's
like
like,
it. Note to self.
yeah, so
Right.
there's just a different version. Or mushrooms. Someone's like, mushrooms good for the
We
brain.
were just talking about
We
mushrooms.
were.
But mushrooms at Walmart,
Right.
right, are not that you buy in a container are not the same when you go to like a farmer's
Right.
market and get like lion's
Where you're
mane
growing
or,
them
like,
at home.
You know,
Right.
they're a little hard to grow, but yeah, but
We
or
were talking about growing
we-
them. We found
we
a
were.
company called
I think we're gonna try.
Happy Cap Farms. We were just talking
Okay,
about
I
growing
want
They
to
send you
try
like a
mushrooms.
kit and everything. I think it's pretty
Yeah.
foolproof.
I would
We'll
love
try
to
it.
grow my
We'll try it
own.
and bring you some to Facial
Yes.
Lounge for sure.
Yeah.
Well, mushrooms are amazing, but yeah, so there's a lot of things that are trending. I tell people be careful because they might be amazing internally. We just don't know topically, so it takes a little longer for those ingredients. But we do use a lot of peptides, copper peptides.
Copper peptides.
Oh, copper
Yes.
peptides.
I totally use it.
So we use a lot of those ingredients.
Very
we also
firming.
they work. So our superhero is has that in it. I named superhero because it's plant stem cells from mung beans and apple seeds, and that's right. That was being launched right when not a funny, but
Wait,
when,
what is it from? I'm sorry.
Apple seeds and mung beans.
Mung beans.
Mung beans.
What,
Yeah.
pray tell,
Apple
is a
seeds.
mung?
But that's where
bean?
the stem cells are from,
that's-
which I
okay.
find so interesting because I mean, somebody who's listening right now that maybe isn't like so exposed, when I hear the word stem cell, like I never think like that it could come
Plant.
from plant.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
you automatically think stem cells, that's bad, or you hear some story in your
Force
head.
Umbilical cord or
Yeah.
something. Right?
Or
Yeah.
baby. I mean,
Right?
Yeah,
the crazy
embryos.
stories
Yeah,
like
yeah.
with
But
stem
your plant
cells.
stem cells
But there's
definitely is an
plant.
option.
so
Yeah.
there are, and I will tell you, I know a lot of companies making skincare from a embryo. Just letting you guys know that was from
Right.
like the 90s, and it's one embryo that they were able to extract from. So I know it is very controversial,
Right.
but some of these things were definitely used for science, and they're using it for a lot of things from burn victims to scarring.
Right.
So there's a couple companies I worked with, but I don't sell it, but we do them from plants. But
Right.
the plants are can be more effective. So it's just different. I tell
That's
people,
amazing.
yeah,
No, it is.
No, it's amazing.
And-
So we named our superhero. We because plant stem cells were very controversial at the time. This is 20 years ago.
Right.
They have come a long way, but people were. I was almost scared to put that on the name. So
Well, but I think too, we've kind of gone backwards in time, even with like cannabis, for instance.
agree.
People were like, pot smoking is bad. And now we're like,
Right.
wait, we had all of this in our earth. It was already here to help us with all of these ailments and everything. It's the same with the stem cells coming
And then
from
your
the plants.
8-year-old
It's been here.
grandmother
It
is
was
like
available
eating
to
a gummy
us.
to go to
Right.
sleep. Like I feel like everybody's like,
Yeah.
I'm taking gummies
Yeah.
to go to sleep or whatever it is. It's like way more natural now too.
100%. So this superhero, what does it do? What is it going to do for me?
So we have two. We have a serum that protects you against blue light. So blue light is aging the skin really fast. We're very lucky. We happen to have some of the ingredients for blue light protection. This was not something we knew. We just happened to use it because it's amazing for the skin. And now it's trending for blue light. We also use it in our eye cream because our cell phones are aging us.
So that was a perk that it was
a
already
perk.
there.
It was accidental. So now we're calling it the blue light protection serum.
I love it.
But it was not, it was been around a long time, but these ingredients are also hard to get. I'm very lucky that I work directly with labs that I can get a lot of these things that bigger companies can't. And when they do, I mean, these ingredients, like our superhero serum is under $200. I don't know the price point,
Right.
but I'm going to make it up like $170 or something.
Yeah.
But ingredients with products with these ingredients go for $300-400. So
Right.
it's still a very good price. And our cell phone, blue light, our computers are aging us. They're doing, and it's a newer problem that we're
Yeah.
having. So it's almost like damage like the sun. But now, and people are not in the sun anymore, which they need to be. But they're not in the sun. They're now in front of a computer, and it's a different type of damage. So we're doing our superheroes to combat the damage from blue light.
Did you spend a lot of time in the sun when you were a kid?
Yes. Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Baby oil, the whole works.
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh.
But
Well,
I
as a
think they-
cheerleader,
right?
you were
That's
probably
true.
outside all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And teaching camps and stuff. But
Right.
I think now too, with the younger generation, my daughter's 18, like they should have be using these blue light creams from the get-go because I never see her without her phone. So
Right.
what damage we have from it, I think it's
Correct.
going to be tenfold
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah,
Right?
I actually changed the name. Superhero is called Firming Serum,
Yeah.
and we just named it to Blue Light Protection literally for that because firming, the kids won't want to buy it, but I'm like, this isn't going to
But it's
preserve
that
actually
makes
good for
sense,
these
yeah.
other
What is
things.
the sun?
Blue light do
and
to the skin.
You wanted to
Exactly.
want me to tell you a cute name? I should tell you this, and I'll tell you. It's so cute. I named it like SPF.
Yeah.
So I put oh shoot, I forgot the name. It's SPF Blue Light. It stands for something serum.
Right.
So I made it SPF for blue light, but I made it an acronym.
Still SPF.
But it's still SPF for blue light.
Blue light.
But yes, blue
What
light
is really interesting.
Blue light is causing free radical damage.
So like when you go put your face into the scanner, like you think in 15 years we could see actual blue light
Absolutely.
damage.
And your eyes.
And so
How
is
do you
it
find
causing-
that? Like, how would you see like that you have blue light damage? Like, how do you know that that's what it's from?
They're doing a lot.
You could put your face in one of those
Yeah.
little scanners.
Like
Yeah.
a wood's
Yeah.
lamp, but not a wood's lamp.
Where
I
you see
own
your
one.
photo
Yeah.
damage.
Mm-hmm.
So I was
Yeah.
wondering if they would pick
It's
up on a
actually
blue light.
yes, and it's a deeper. It's a different type of.
That's what that
damage.
Photo
machine
damage.
does.
Mhm.
Okay, photo
It's a
damage.
machine you put your
Sun
face in.
damage.
You should do that.
Sun
Yeah,
damage
but-
causes more like the melasma. It's a little bit of a darker, deeper.
Right.
This is like a cellular.
It's like causing thinning almost. maybe?
no, it's causing like aging.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
had to choose,
I'll send you. There's some new articles. Someone just won an award for, and I don't quote me on the award, a huge award for this blue light study on the skin, and I'll get you the article.
Yeah,
It's
listeners
amazing.
definitely want to know about blue light
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah,
They're all
right.
probably like putting the phone away from the mouse.
I'm really
You
interested.
can get
Lights
blue
are
light
interesting.
protection on your phone and on your screen. And I also tell people I get SPF. It's ceramic on my car,
Yeah.
so I have which makes your car so much cooler. So I have because
I feel like I'm not
Cool.
worrying about enough stuff.
no,
Yeah, right?
With
well,
my
I
skin.
listen. I haven't. I put SPF on my face. I don't put it
Right.
on my hands. I wash my hands all day. I'm driving. I know I'm aging. My hands are aging way faster than everything else, and I'm
Right.
driving. So I went. It was $200, and I put this SPF on my window shield. And
That's
we
so
did
smart.
an article. We
So
did a
smart.
blog on it, and we also did it on my car. And so
Yeah.
now, if I'm not wearing sunscreen, I'm driving around. I feel a little better, and it's not that expensive. So it's a ceramic.
I went on a
Um,
road trip and I got a sunspot like right here, and it's literally still there, and
I
it was that specific road trip.
Yeah.
It was like I didn't have it at the beginning.
And if you
then-
would have had SPF on your
crazy.
car,
Yeah.
ceramic tint's supposed to be the best one, and it's cheap. And for $200, you guys, you get how
Like
many
that.
years you
I
have your
didn't know
car,
about that.
That's
But
wild.
I think because you're
and your car is cool. It keeps your car cool.
yeah,
I'm
no,
gonna
you
get
gotta
that.
have a cool car.
Yeah.
So, but you're so involved with all the laboratory testing and all of this neutral laboratory testing that keeps you up on all the products on the latest and greatest.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm not going to say names, but when you go into some of these big beauty stores, I sometimes just feel like I'm being bullshit, like bullshit,
Right?
bullshit, because some of it is like, oh, it's antioxidant, but I'm like, how much antioxidant?
And what does that
What does that
mean?
actually mean?
Yeah.
And how do I even know it's in there? How much
Yeah.
has to be in there before you can use that on an
Yeah.
ingredient
It's
list?
true. I will tell you, the consumer's much smarter now, and they're not getting away with their bullshit as much. There's
Yeah.
people able to test products, and they are stepping up their game, which makes me really happy.
Right.
But you have to really trust the company and know that they're not. There's a lot of smoke and mirrors. I fall for it myself.
Right.
So it is facial loans. We've been offered to be in Sephora. We've been offered to be in a lot of. We only make things in small batches.
Right.
So I can't.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
can't really
Like I've known you for a
scale.
long time. She always has these opportunities, but she so
I
doesn't
can't,
want
and I'm not going to change it. So
Yeah,
we
move the
are
integrity
working on
of the
some.
product.
I'm working on a
Smart.
product that's really cool that I can scale and we can stable. Like that's really nice for acne. That's new. Like no one's done it. So I'm really excited to launch a couple things that are new to the industry. But Facial Lounge, we've seen over 150,000 facials.
Amazing.
So it's a lot of faces. And I think we also I hear the demands and the needs. So superheroes, anti-aging, anti-acne. We had so many people coming in with acne that all the drying stuff was aging their skin. And then they're coming in with
Right.
dry skin and everything's causing, or acne,
Yeah.
and it was too oily. So it's like
I feel
They
like that's
need a
what
bowl.
really sets her apart, sets your brand apart, is that a lot of people can just start a skincare line.
Right.
But to actually be like on the ground, working with people, seeing people every day, knowing what works for them, what doesn't work for them, doing their facials, hearing their complaints, like what happened in the past,
so true.
and like being able to take that because you're so passionate. I've known you a long time and you're so passionate about actually helping people. And I think from coming from a place where you had acne as a kid, or you feel shunned or ashamed or don't want to show up somewhere or go to a party or feel like maybe someone's not asking you to a dance because you have acne or whatever, you don't
so
talk
true.
about how that affects your psyche
Mhm.
and how you feel about yourself. Like having clear skin, it really affects your confidence, which affects the decisions that you make in your world and your life. So it's like, I feel like because she sees so many thousands of people, it's like I can develop a product that literally is going to work. Like she's not just trying to
And it's true. And I
make a
I
dollar.
suffered from severe
I
acne,
love that.
like I said, and it was really hard for me.
Yeah.
And I don't have I'm okay with that. I don't have amazing skin. My dad had cystic acne. He gifted it to me.
You
Genetic
gifted it? Girl,
thing.
thanks, Dad.
Thank you. And I have, even yesterday, some of the girls were doing a training facial, and I'm always a guinea pig because I always have extractions. My skin I could
just
be very
does.
acneic, but I tell people it's okay. You don't have to be perfect, but feel good in your skin. And acne is painful, so I know how painful and
Right.
how much it hurts. So our skincare is a really safe.
Any
There's-
kind of skin condition.
Oh yeah,
I love hearing this, especially because my daughter being a high school student, a lot of her girlfriends have gone through the acne phases, and the go-to for most of them, because they're impatient and they're teenagers, is put me on Accutane,
Yeah.
which
Right.
is just like, it's so scary.
It's so scary.
and having
It does work,
something
but-
that we feel
And I
more
will
safe.
tell you, after seeing
It's the
so
last
many
resort.
people,
Yeah.
it is the last result. And I can count on one hand how many clients I've had have to do it, and it wasn't just the kids couldn't handle the extractions and they were too painful. And this has been years since my last. It hurts me because I also get to see all the damage that Accutane does, and private conversations. Like a lot of kids sometimes, believe it or not, this might be TMI, but they can't go potty anymore because their tushy hole is so dry.
Wow.
Oh my
And so just like
gosh.
if you get your lips are chapped,
Oh, I didn't even know that side effect.
yeah, and so then
Really?
yeah, so when your lips are chapped, they split and bleed and
Yeah.
stuff. So I have to tell them like put a little Aquaphor down there. Like,
So it's
you-
actually really horrible.
it's drying
like, in a
literally
lot of
your
ways
tissue.
on your body.
Then they don't go potty, and then there's all these gut issues and a lot of liver damage.
yeah.
I have one client. She's a celebrity, and she wanted Accutane because she was so obsessed with it. And I told her not to, and she didn't listen to me. She did anyways. And then the doctor wouldn't give her another prescription.
another
so
pack
she
of
went
it.
to another doctor and said she never had it and
Oh,
got
yeah.
it, and all her hair fell out. She has a wig to this day.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, like it doesn't
Your
go
body,
back?
like literally, so one of the first things that happens to you when your body is in shock is it loses its hair to protect itself. It
Absolutely.
is harsh.
Yeah.
And so so that was one of something that really happened, and a lot of infertility. Like I get to hear
Right, you're like,
way
stay
too
away
many
from
horror
it, too
stories. If I can tell people not to do it, or at least a mile if they do it. But some people are doing too much or too strong. Like it really does affect you
Yeah,
for the
strength.
rest of your life. It really
Well,
does.
and with the
toll.
evolution of your products, because you have Facial Lounge, you're seeing your clients in action. They start your products, they come in for their regular facials, and you're
Right.
seeing the progression firsthand. So that's such another beautiful aspect of knowing how to continue growing your brands and seeing what is really working and how to up the dosages on different
Oh,
components.
exactly.
And
It
that's
feels
what a gift.
so-
It's like your own
It's
study.
the most fun feeling ever. We're doing right now. We're doing free acne. If you guys have any severe acne people, we're doing free facials for them for 6 weeks, so I can use them for before and afters. And we're having so much fun. During
that so
summer, we're
cool?
gonna have an acne boot camp because I want the kids. I want that moment like in the movie where they come in June
Yes.
and they go back to school in
Yes.
August,
I
and
love
they've been
it.
working out and their skin's. I like, and I've had it. I've done it
I know
privately
she's like
for
literally
people.
so passionate.
No, it's just so
It's so-
exciting
so
because it was my
passionate.
dream and I never got it. But I'm
I
like, I
know.
could give it to
I want to go
someone
back
else.
after
And now
the
you're giving
summer
it to
and just
everyone
be
else.
I'll give it to
beautiful.
everyone
Yeah,
else. So it's really fun, like that summer that people are in ninth grade going to 10th or whatever, or going
Right.
into college.
Yes.
We
Right.
can like put into them and do a lot. We're doing it with blue light.
I
So
love it.
I'm
I
not the
love
same
it.
blue light as your cell phone. That's a very
Right,
common question. to always-
Anti-acne.
Yeah,
Yes.
anti-acne. So we're doing a little red with blue, and we're doing a lot of extractions and a lot of ice, a lot of icing.
Ice,
So,
ice, baby.
Ice Ice
Right?
Baby.
Ice
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 Baby.
Baby.
I love it.
Seriously, it works. So.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, I want to continue on this acne conversation and learn more about how red light therapy can assist in that. And then all these other fat areas that I'm hearing about, I got to know everything about it, Annina. You're up next.
Laser
we'll be
light
right back.
bulb.
So
Yeah.
exciting.
I'm back. It's Taylor, and we're here in the middle of a big beauty bang with a bunch of beautiful ladies that know everything about beauty. So if you're just tuning in, you're about to learn a whole bunch. And okay, I have to know about this red light therapy. It is a
Yes.
complement to so many different things. And I know you, Annine, are the expert. So give us the lowdown.
Well, red light therapy was created in space by NASA. A lot of people talk
Always
about
cool.
it was helpful for like bruising for any of the astronauts who got bruising, but also I like to talk about how it was created to sprout seeds in space without water.
Right. That's pretty
Basically.
amazing.
Wow.
So
It's-
yeah,
It's very Matt Damon, The Martian.
I know,
Yeah.
right?
Matt Damon, yeah,
It's
he's a
sci-fi.
smart guy. But yeah, it's basically it's phytoenergy that is so strong at 880 nanometers that it cracks through the seed and creates phytoenergy within the seed without water, which creates life.
Right.
So
That's,
it sprouts seeds in space. Red light, it sprouts seeds in space without water. That's the basis of it.
I know that
So-
sounds wild.
Yeah.
Easy.
It even helps the mind. It makes people. It helps. They're doing a
I
lot of
get-
studies
yeah.
for like postpartum depression.
I put it on my clients who've lost their sense of smell from COVID on the back of their head or on their olfactory nerve, and it will bring blood back to the area and bring their smell back.
And then you combine it with other things, right? So like,
Yeah.
how do we use that to be our best self?
Well, so basically, if you're thinking about how red light therapy works on seeds in space and it sprouts, life without water, think about what it does to the skin. So it goes all the way to the center of the mitochondria, which is your cell, and it brings wherever light goes, life follows. So the thing I like to talk
I
about
like that.
is when you're
Right.
fishing, think about you want to fish wherever the sun shines on the water because the
Right.
fish are going to go wherever the sun is.
Right.
And so basically, like I say, light follows light. So if you put light follows light. So if you put red light all the way on the skin, all your blood, growth factor, stem cell, everything follows to that center of the mitochondria.
Right.
So it works on neuropathy, psoriasis.
Oh, that's awesome. So, okay, what have you ever had
eczema.
people like chemo? Because my girlfriend just went through chemo.
big
She has
one.
horrendous neuropathy.
Yes.
And so will that mat like actually help
Well,
her
so
with
we
her
worry
neuropathy?
about when it comes to chemo, like, when it comes to stem cell and chemo, because anybody who's had cancer, we don't want to give them stem cells. So we don't
Right.
want to cause any regeneration.
Ah, that's interesting.
But it is meant to work on soft tissue damage. That's
Right.
what red light therapy is. It's for soft tissue damage. So for neuropathy, perfect.
right.
And somebody who's had chemo, if they feel safe enough to take that chance.
It's like a personal preference.
yeah,
But there is a chance that it could like help it. Like if
it
you
will
had
help it extremely, but we're worried
cancer,
about
you
it
wouldn't
bringing
wanna-
up the cancer cell again because
Oh.
it brings life
Yeah.
to
So
a cell,
when you
That's
say you
interesting.
put it on someone,
right?
what's going on you? Is it a laser? Is it something you
So we
attach
cover
to
the
you?
eyes, and it's like a dome,
Okay.
and then we wrap the whole body, or you could be in a bed, and basically after 6 minutes, it busts open the fat cell. After 20 minutes, the fat cell's fully leaked, so it goes all the way to the fat cell. But within the skin, it's just like a dome, and just like a little bed, and you just lay in it for 20 minutes, and I have panels that I put on my clients, and after 6 years of being with them, or even 6 months, you could see where the panel is gone. or where it didn't touch their skin. You know what
Oh,
I'm
that's
saying?
wild.
So if you put like red light right here
Yeah.
for like 6 days in a row, you would, I mean, you
Yeah.
see a difference after one treatment, but
Right.
6 days in a row, you could see where the light didn't hit.
Right.
It's that regenerative.
And so for the leg example that you gave, what would be the difference between what was in the red and what was not?
Crepiness, wrinkle, you know, texture.
It's plumper. The skin's more plump.
Mhm.
Okay.
And there's 2 different types of red light. There's
I need one.
near infrared. Yeah. Near
Adam.
infrared and far
Wait, there's
infrared.
2 different kinds. Say that
Of
again.
light, so there's near infrared and far infrared, and they
Okay.
both. So some help the muscle and pain that she's talking about,
Right.
and then what she's talking about, like the pumping, is like the near infrared. So it really does help like the texture, tone instantly. Like if a lot of people like brides and events, if someone's scared to do something, this is a great treatment to do without any having. There's no allergic reaction. Like it's so
Right.
safe. Like
It
no
is
one
very
has
safe.
a adverse effect to it. So it's just
So
wow.
infrared, it goes just to the muscle and to like to the dermis and the subcutaneous fats. Not even, I mean, red light is known. It's so funny because I have a nurse next to me, so
Oh,
you're
good.
gonna see me constantly looking over to my left. Because I worked at a med spa. That's all I've ever worked at as an esthetician. I worked at Hands and Stone for a little bit, but I worked for Dr. Joe Cerny, and now I work for work with Alloderm, and now I have my own business. So I'm always going to look over to my nurse.
yes.
But red light is actually a microchip, and it's a microchip is like the size of half of your pinky nail, and it's the strength of a computer.
Right.
So red light that actually causes to bust open the fat cell is 880 nanometers. That's the one that goes all the way to the mitochondria.
Right.
Infrared goes to the subcutaneous fat in the muscle, and it could stimulate the same way radio frequency does,
Right.
with causing a Celsius and a heat. But
it
the
doesn't-
infrared, the laser lipo, the 880 nanometer NASA grade red light is what goes all the way to the center of the mitochondria, to the bone, and that's why it
Wow.
helps with neuropathy.
So you have to be
That's
careful,
cool.
like when
And
you're
eat.
going to a place, like what kind of light they're
Yes.
using,
Right?
right?
Yeah,
So,
because you don't want to be told that you're getting laser lipo and you're going into infrared bed,
right.
because
Totally
that's not going to
different.
bust open your fat cell.
Yeah.
I've had clients lose 5 pounds per session with me.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
just gonna say,
the best at
okay,
weight loss.
when you're doing it for wrinkles, though, what's the nanometers on that? It's much less.
Yeah, so with wrinkles, you can do the red light, the 880 nanometers works with the wrinkles at 6 minutes. So you could see a huge difference with just one treatment of 6 minutes of 880 nanometer. When you do the infrared light, it will bring heat. My mom makes the joke. My mom's an esthetician of 35 years or 40 something. If you hit your skin every single day or pinch it at the same place, that part of your skin is going to look better than the rest.
That's what I
And
do
why?
facial. I always like massage my jaw to like try to keep it up.
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit.
fascia.
Yeah.
You know. So I mean, yeah, good question though.
Okay, so what about those ones that you can buy like in a beauty store, that the masks that you put on? Because I bought one and I look like Jason, like the murderer.
right.
They work.
Yeah, and
Even the cheaper ones work.
they do.
Yeah,
Okay, because I
because
have one, but
anything that's gonna make your skin red.
I always
works.
wonder too. I never bought one because I'm always like, oh,
I
it's all
have one.
hokey
You can try
pokey.
mine.
I gotta try it.
But like, so my assistant has a little baby, and I had it. I was walking around the house in it, and he was like, because you look so scary
Yeah,
with it
me
on.
too.
But I also have to get. It's a little claustrophobic.
Yeah,
I think I'd
it
rather
is.
have it with the dome like you have around
Right.
me,
The
Yeah,
as
dome is
opposed to right
nice.
on my face.
Yeah, and they sell them, and you can go online and you'll see some like crazy expensive red light for like $500, and it's good because you want to get the best red light you can.
Right.
But you know, also the other ones work well too. You know, but it is based, if it's NASA grade red light, that's when, and it's 880 nanometer with 60 joules, and a microchip therapy. That is NASA grade red light therapy.
And
That
what
is true RTL.
What's
Okay.
the difference between your red light and say like at Amber's place she uses light stem? Like what's the
Right.
difference
Light stem's
between those kind of lights?
Well, you know what's interesting is Lightstim's actually good. They actually use NASA grade.
Yeah,
red
they're
light.
supposed to be
so she has
incredible.
We
all-
only use it for, we're not doing what she does. We only use it for facials.
Right.
So we just
Good
have
to
the
say.
pro panels and all the things. Totally different than what
Smart
you're
to
doing.
say, because you have to have a doctor
Yeah.
on
Right.
staff
Yeah.
in order technically.
We don't.
Oh,
we
you
don't
do?
Yeah.
So
what
hers,
she's doing
just
is
doing-
much
she's
cheaper.
more
yeah.
intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so she has it on a module.
I want to go there.
I know,
Yeah, so mine
right?
is,
Let's go together.
Let's
The
do it.
doctor,
Girls.
my doctor has to be the one to
Right.
kind of be in charge of the fact that I use it, because even with radio frequency, being an esthetician, I'm not allowed to go past the skin. They just legalized it for me to dermaplane.
Oh, I know,
You
it's that
know?
wild.
So
So if someone did have acne, how often would they need to do the red light therapy to see a progression?
So we always recommend once or twice a week. You know, if you came in office, I would have the acne person come in twice a week. But I'm involved with skincare as well. So I have them do red light therapy with a little bit of a retinol with the AHA mixed. I work with Neova. They won a Nobel and my mom's gonna kill me if I don't say this right, a Nobel Peace Prize in chemistry. And then we also work with UCLA Chemistry Department, where all products usually have to go through UCLA Chemistry Department to get FDA approved.
Yeah.
But so just like a light retinol twice a week and red light twice a week, I mean, that could change your skin. We also do AviClear.
I was gonna
Have
say
you
you
heard
do
of that?
AviClear.
I've heard of AviClear. Yeah.
I know you were
Yeah.
gonna maybe come to the
Yeah.
office.
Yeah.
I think we
Yeah.
still have it.
Yeah.
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 And that's been
It kills
successful
the
with the acne.
subcutaneous, or it kills the sebaceous gland.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've heard good things about it. I may have some of my daughter's friends come in and
Yeah.
see you for that for sure.
Yeah,
Because
of
we
course.
begin and we'll put the superheroes on and
Yeah.
then put the red
Well,
light
I
on.
was-
and-
I was
you can
making-
combine with us.
I was making a joke that we all get along. Like facials don't take the place of like
Yeah, it's all
lasers and
different.
treatments or red lights, and they don't take the place of fillers.
Exactly.
And even my clients will ask me like, "Can I get Botox?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? We're all best friends.
Word.
Yes.
Like all these things
You're the
work.
gateway drug.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
the gateway
yeah.
drug.
You're the
Yeah,
gateway
it's
drug.
very true
Right.
because that's when the people want to start life. But I'm like, it's okay to do other things. It's not one. I tell people it's like working out. It's like you're allowed to do Pilates and yoga and aerobics and like
Right.
running, like
And
all those
we
things.
tell our clients that are girls that are going to prom and the moms don't want them to take Accutane. And it's been years and their moms are like, no, we're from Laguna Beach, we're vegan, and
Right.
we're not going to put our daughter on Accutane. And they get these huge pockets sometimes.
Oh,
And
they're
they can't really reverse it. And we'll do like 6 sessions of microneedling. So sometimes you're right. And I'm so glad you talked to me about Accutane because I'm going to bring that back to my spa and how bad it is.
Mhm.
But
scary.
if it's the like you said, it's the last resort.
Last resort.
But
It
it is sometimes can really damage your skin, all that cystic acne.
Right.
And if you don't fix it quickly, then yeah, people don't
True.
go to prom.
If someone,
Right.
they won't go. Yeah,
Right.
no. If someone's
Or anywhere.
severely acne, there is a home for it
Mhm.
where it's just boils and it's just so painful.
Yeah.
And that's some people that like. And of course, I would love for them to like clean up their act and cut out gluten. And there's some things that they're sodas. And I have a kid that had pretty bad acne, very close. I almost thought he might be Accutane.
Right.
And it's really cute because he really did cut out his soda. He really did eat clean, and his
Did it
father
work?
would not let him get facials, so his mother was sneaking him there. His father was very
Oh my
macho.
gosh.
So we were doing
That happens.
blue light therapy with some red light. He came once a week, about 4 times, and he cleared up. Well, his dad knew he cut out soda. So his dad's been, he was laughing. He's like, my dad's telling everyone he cut out sugar. Look at his skin. He cut out soda.
It has nothing
And
to
I'm
do
like,
with us.
it helped.
Right.
But he goes, I hate that I can't tell people, Amber, I'm sorry, but it's like a secret. And I'm like, it's okay.
It's okay.
And he's the
Oh my
nicest kid, and he still comes in once in a while. But sometimes people don't want to. But the
I
food
love
does
it.
help. Yeah.
So
And-
the good blue light though versus the
Correct.
bad
Totally different.
cell phone
Yeah.
and computer blue light.
Yeah.
Where's the difference lie?
Well, the blue light is our phones are UV, so it's a totally different. It's
So
a
it's a
damaging
UV light
Yeah. So
compared to
it's
just
just red light therapy and blue light therapy has no UV. It's just
Blue light therapy is antiseptic.
So-
antimicrobial, antibacterial.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you do that in conjunction with the red light for acne?
I do.
You do both. Yeah, they're best friends.
We have
I
like a
love it.
$4,000 blue light dome at Aladerm.
yeah.
It's this crazy thing and they do 20 minutes twice a week, and it really
It's
clears people up.
It's pretty
And there's
awesome.
a new light out, and I don't remember. You guys might know what it's called. Maybe they've come across your business trying to sell you the light. But the technology behind it is crazy, and it's supposed to be like twice as powerful as the Beamer. Have
Oh,
you
the
seen
Beamer
this
mat?
new one? Yeah.
I know all about the Beamer mat. It's
Yeah.
a light, or is it
It's
a
a
magnetic
light.
pole?
It's a
yeah.
light, and it's a big machine, and then it
And it's
comes
supposed to
across with
bring-
4 or 5 panels, and
Oh,
I don't know, but it's
Is it
supposed
re-
to be new. It's brand new,
Is
and
it red?
it's like $60,000 light. It's just
Woo.
a light.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I
Yeah.
believe it.
Yeah.
They're talking about red light actually being able to be this new thing instead of antibiotics. And I know that sounds crazy, but a lot of my friends, they're like all about red light therapy, and it cleans out parasites. So after people do 20 minutes of red light therapy at my work, they do, it sounds crazy, but they take pictures of their urine and they show us, and it's like oil. And then sometimes they'll
Really?
have diarrhea for 2 to 3 days after.
Oh
So
my
red
god!
So that's when you do the full body.
Yeah, full
So
body.
it's like clearing out.
yeah, it
like
clears out
all the stuff.
anything foreign in the body, red light therapy, because I mean, it's supposed to be regenerative of things that are good, in the body.
Right.
But it also pierces the fat cell and anything foreign in the body, including what's in your lymphs and your liver, which is all your pesticides, your steroids, your fillers, your
So
what's in
somehow like red light sauna therapy, right? Like is that somehow related to infrared sauna therapy? About the way it clears
somewhere,
out?
but different.
It's
So,
different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So infrared sauna sweats it out, so it's a little bit more of a detox.
It's all
This is a
based-
deeper detox.
Yeah,
than
it's
that.
basically all
could
So you
Yeah.
could do both.
You could do both.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
I think
I
it
don't
sounds
know.
All the
amazing
time.
to get a nice
Yeah, and
tea
get
talk.
in there into the infrared bed and start, carving out all the crap in your legs.
That's my
get out
favorite
your
thing to do.
lips,
Like when you're in a
mold your
sauna, is like
jaw,
massage
get
all the
salt
lumps out of your
cellulite.
leg.
Yeah,
Yeah, we
because
just
Quo
got
didn't
those.
work very well. Remember
Oh,
Quo?
that was a big nightmare. That was a
We bought
huge
from them
nightmare.
too.
Yeah.
Quo is a injection that they put into your cellulite that was supposed to work, and
It
we
didn't.
bought a bunch of
Well,
Quo and it didn't work.
It sort of worked, but it created a whole new problem in that people bruised so badly
Oh no.
that it created
Iridescent.
brown staining or
Mhm.
hemosiderin
wow.
staining that then would require tons of laser to get rid of if you could get rid of it.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, no.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Yeah, all
So
these
with-
things.
With the fat removal portion of that, the detoxing, would you have people come in maybe once a month, or does it depend on their
So
disease
it's
processes?
twice a week for weight loss.
Okay, for
Thank
weight
you for
loss.
asking. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's when it's called laser lipo. So you got RTL, and so what you're talking about is laser lipo, and they come in twice a week. They see me on a Monday and a Wednesday,
Okay.
and so it's 48 hours that your fat cell leaks after one session. So for those 48 hours, they're not allowed to have sugar, fried foods, carbs, or alcohol. Thank you.
Oh, Annina,
I
you're
love
killing me.
it.
Okay?
I
know.
Like you had
Alcohol.
me up to that last part.
I love having them both here so I could refer to you guys when I'm going dumb. Yeah, those four things. So with cutting out those four things though, you lose up to 4.5 to 5 pounds.
Can you just sleep for 48 hours then?
Yeah,
Right,
actually, just go home and
Take a
relax.
Xanax and
Yeah,
go out or
exactly.
something.
I have a
know.
question. And what areas, could someone, my double chin drives me nuts. Could someone do their double chin? Could
course.
someone do their leg? Do they pick an area? How does it
Well,
work?
I wrap the whole entire body, but I do have girls that are specific, they're like, I want this, but don't touch my ass.
Yeah.
Excuse
Right.
my
Oh,
language.
right.
My booty.
Got to keep her booty, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What do
And
you
the
wrap it
breasts.
in? No, wait.
So mine is, I have one location in Newport that I do a bed, but the one that I do it in Aliso Viejo, we wrap, the panels are this long and there's 6 of them.
Yeah.
So we do arms, back, stomach, thighs, and then the face and the
Right.
chest. So it's anti-aging, the mommy, thing that we get
That starts to
under
happen.
our arms. And then, I always wrap their armpits because if you notice, our armpits don't get any love.
It's
So
true.
I put
right.
retinol on my armpits.
I love
Yeah.
that.
I put more
Yeah.
hyaluronic acid on my armpits, red light on I radio frequency in my armpits because I want to
Right.
be that one girl that has nice armpits.
And she's
Yeah.
gonna have
Be in
the
your
hottest
office all
armpits
day.
in
Hottest
town.
armpits
I know.
ever.
Like,
If I was in her
I know. Have
office-
you seen her armpits?
Did you see her put her hand up? That was a
She
I know,
went
right?
like this, and her
Oh,
arm had
my
a
armpit.
nice.
The most gorgeous
But
armpit I've ever
Ever.
seen.
Yeah, so
And I think I don't really ever notice my armpits until summer rolls around, and then I'm in a strappy top or something
Right.
because they got neglected
And then
all
you're like,
winter.
what happened?
So I
happened to
add
my
it into
armpits?
my microneedling. I
That's
go,
great.
I always say the earlobes age with you. So I make you pull your hair back, and any skincare you do, you put on your ears and underneath these. What is this hairline called?
I don't know.
What do they
Oh,
call
Right
it?
next to where your
Yeah.
ears.
Yeah, right next to your ear. I
Right.
can't
Yeah.
think of it.
Men have sideburns. What do you
Sideburns.
got?
Yeah.
Sideburns.
Sideburns.
Remove the sideburns, put your skincare there, and I microneedle there. I go all the way to the neck behind because this is where you're going to get your facelift.
Right.
So I microneedle that because you want to tighten that area, and then all the way down to the armpits.
She's already prepping for the facelift.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta
gosh.
take care of it. So when you get the facelift, it's already ready.
Yes,
Well,
100%. I'm turning 39.
We went to a biohacking seminar,
Yes.
and one of the things the doctor said, I keep forgetting his name.
Dr. Ben Patali, I think.
His favorite thing, just to let you know, which was really exciting, was he said in front of everyone with a lot of amazing work done, he goes, the most important thing you can do is red light. And when people are red lighting,
Right.
and I go to do my job as a plastic surgeon, their skin is healthy,
So
their fat
true.
is healthy, I can do my job.
So true.
And I was
That's
like, because I want to lift one day, and I was like, I do red light, but that made me want to red light even more. He's
so
like,
true.
please
And
do your red light,
after
it makes my job better.
surgery too.
Oh,
Right.
for sure.
Post and pre.
Yeah.
You
Right.
it makes it to when they cut into the skin, it's more supple and it's able to bind back together, faster. But it's also like your lymphs and your liver has a lot to do with red light, and I wanted to touch on that a little bit
Yes.
because it does kind of help with your surgery, post-op and healing. I make my clients take milk thistle and red root
I love
to
those.
clean out their lymph and their liver. So
Yep.
when I bust open the fat cell, because if you do cool sculpting, when I used to work at Dr. Joe's and Kelly Dodd, she would be like, this didn't work. And I'd be like, Kelly, calm down,
Right.
And it was because she, we needed to clear their lymph. So girls, we
Right.
would do cool
Oh.
sculpting here, and they would get like a lump, right?
Oh,
under
that's
the-
interesting.
or,
dent,
a dent. And, but the thing is like, The fat cell, when you laser lipo it or you freeze it, it shatters or it goes through, but it has to go through your lymphs and livers, and you have to pee and poop it out. And if you have a stuffed up lymph and liver, then
you want to
it
drink
doesn't
water.
come out.
Like it's a whole process.
Yeah.
Because I would say the majority of my friends who've done cool sculpting have said they didn't really feel a result, but
Yeah.
that's
Right.
probably
It's
why.
a big reason. That's exactly why.
Yeah,
That's
the
why
lymph and
I'm one
liver.
of the best when it comes to weight loss in Orange County,
can't
because I
wait to
tell
see
everybody no
you.
thistle red root.
Yeah, no, she is right. Those are
And
some
beaver
of my
mat.
favorite. There's actually a really amazing lady who makes, and no one knows about her, and it's called, hold on, it's called Blue Heron out of Deadwood, Oregon. And randomly, I know this is so cool. Her milk thistle, her herbs are like $12. Her name's Mara. She's a professor at I think, University of Oregon.
Oh my
But she
gosh.
makes these herbs from her. Like, I wasn't even allowed in her lab if I was wearing perfume. Like, it's so well done, and
Nice.
it's my favorite herb. I gotta tell you, it's my favorite company. But when I take it, I look less puffy. I really do.
Like it legitimately
It
works.
literally helps my skin. It's one of my favorite things. And dry brushing. Dry brushing. I
Oh,
always
yeah.
talk
Especially
about.
with
yeah.
all the Ozempic going around
Mhm.
too, you want to make sure your liver is functioning a
It's
lot,
so
because
good.
I'm
Oh,
selling
yeah.
a lot of Ozempic, and a lot of people need it. It's just like Accutane, some people have their thoughts on Ozempic, but your liver is your number one functioning fat organ in your body.
Right.
It functions all your fat, and then your lymphs is all your like salts and your preservatives and your like I said,
Fluid.
Right.
your lymphs
Everything
hold all
coming
like the
through.
sugars, the salts, like the dyes and all that crap that's like kind of like
Yeah.
tiny. It sits
Debris.
in your
Right,
debris.
I call it debris.
Because your limbs look like this.
Yeah, it gets sludgy. And dry brushing really helps. The lymphatic system is the only non-self pumping system. So when people know how to do a lymphatic drainage massage
For
or learning it
themselves.
Big deal.
themselves, it actually it doesn't know how to do it itself. So
Yeah.
our heart's pumping our blood,
Well-
our bodies. The only way we really help pump our blood is bouncing
Yeah.
and walking. And
That's
women,
interesting.
yeah, bouncing. But women, we learn to
Just
like
getting it
It's,
walk-
it's like this.
yeah, yeah.
Like, so
Yeah, yeah, it does. But women, we kind of learn to like stay still. So even
Yeah.
like I have a underwire today, like it helps so the boobs don't jiggle.
Right.
The jiggling helps your
Is
lymphatic
better.
system.
Well, even
So
bouncing up
we
and
were
down,
told
you feel
a lot
better.
of breast cancer is linked, they
Second.
think,
Yeah.
to underwire bras because women weren't. First of all, they were using deodorant with all the
right.
parabens and aluminum, all things. So our
Right.
body can't detox, so it needs to detox. And then it was trapping, and nothing was wiggling and jiggling.
Right.
But it actually got stagnant.
So I put my clients
That's
on that
interesting.
thing that shakes. What is it
Yeah,
called?
The vibration plate.
The vibration
Yeah.
plate.
Yeah.
That's a lymphatic drainage.
Yeah, and
it
it
is.
just.
Isn't it?
I love
I'm
those
not
things.
wearing a bra
Or
right
the
now, so I'm
bounce.
good.
Good. Yeah, just good. And you wanna,
Shake it.
Yeah, you want to bounce it. It's so important. So I like to wear just tank tops sometimes, and I don't care. Women were taught not to jiggle. We're taught to kind of be stiff, but
Right,
it's okay
that's
to
right.
wiggle and jiggle and get like it going.
Yeah.
Get it
We're
out
gonna
with
get
the
a
wiggle and
exercise
I
jiggle.
feel
over
like
here.
that's why we need all those things too, is because we went from being in a society where people had to work in physical labor jobs,
Right.
and you're doing things all during the day, and now we're just stagnant. Like as a society, like you wake up, you go to your computer, you're on your phone, go to the bathroom, you maybe make some breakfast before you drive in your car somewhere for an hour,
That brings
then you go and
me-
sit some more.
That
So you
brings
have
me
to do
the Beamer
something.
mat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think of what grounding is, so you're
Right.
talking is what she's talking about is because we're in a building, then
Right.
we put our shoes on, and then we go into a car.
There's
so
no
the
grounding.
gravitational
Yeah.
pull of the earth isn't going through our body. So usually when your feet are directly onto the sand,
Yeah.
there's a gravitational pull going through the earth. So I always tell everybody, imagine the ocean without waves. How
Right.
mucky would it be?
Oh yeah.
Right.
The gravitational pull is our natural filtration system.
Yeah.
So think of
That's
an
is
ocean
that
without waves.
stuff where they pull, like you know how you put your feet in the thing and it pulls
Yeah.
out and it turns brown or whatever.
Yes,
it
those
is.
Yeah.
patches that go on the
Yeah,
bottom of
you've
your
seen
feet.
those patches.
I just saw
or
a commercial
whatever.
for that the
Is
other
that
day.
like trying to like somehow pull toxins
Is that
through
real?
you? Or is that hokey
There's
pokey?
more pores. When you get to
I have
the
an opinion.
nurse, then we're gonna get
I
real,
was gonna say,
real.
I
But there's more pores in the feet than there are in the whole entire body.
I did that. I went to
So
a Young
that's why
Living
they say
thing
that.
for
That's why
natural
people get
oils,
sweaty feet.
and the
Yeah.
girl took a piece of garlic. And this is when I became a believer, was at one of these meetings, right? Because they're trying to recruit you to sell
Yeah.
Young Living, and I was like, okay, whatever. My friend was into it, and so I went. But she put a piece of garlic on the bottom of my foot, and I could taste it like within 3 seconds, like
Oh.
in my mouth.
Oh wow!
And I was like, and she's like, yeah. So the chemicals you have in your house, on your floor,
True.
whatever, like that's how fast this
crazy.
is moving through your body. And I was like, oh, sold, signed up, bought all the stuff. Like,
Yeah.
It's very
like,
true.
but it's true. You don't realize that you're absorbing
they
all
were
that.
telling-
Put chocolate on the bottom of my foot. Can
Right?
I taste
I
it?
know, right?
I know, right? I was thinking they
Is it
should serve
only
me pizza
garlic?
at the same time.
Yeah.
Put the garlic on the bottom, slice of pizza to go with it.
Totally. I love
That'd
that.
be me. I'll
Oh
ruin
my
it. I'll ruin the healthy benefits
That's
of it
so
somehow.
funny.
The Beamer mat, it changed my mom's blood size from a 102 to a 6 in like 4 sessions, and that's why
What
we
is a
got
blood
it.
size?
So like you
Oh, it's
might
like
be
the size
able,
of the red blood cell.
yes, the size of the red blood cell, and
What?
the
I didn't
larger
even know.
your blood cell is the more the risk you're gonna have a heart attack or a
Wait,
stroke.
I don't even know this.
I don't
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, so the Beamer mat is a gravitational pull mat, and it makes your blood flow like this. And the faster your blood flows, and the smaller it gets, the blood size.
Oh, that's
And then it
also-
can scrape plaque out of your system
see.
and make you urinate.
And you absorb more
And-
absorb more nutrients. So they've done studies where they're IVing people like the
Right.
nutrients with or without it. And when they do it on the Beamer mat, they actually absorb the antioxidants, and they did it with glutathione and certain
Yeah,
ingredients.
we're all
in there.
into. We just had
We just had
glutathione
glutathione
IVs.
the
So
other
if
day.
you do it
Yeah, I
on
love
if
it.
you do it on a Beamer mat, it actually absorb it better.
Oh, really?
So I'm
Really?
doing my facials, and I have the red light all over the place in the Beamer mat, so I'm getting it all day.
Right?
You know
Oh,
what I
that's
mean?
so awesome.
I'm like, oh,
That's
cool,
why you
I
look
got
so
it.
I
good.
definitely
That's
should
why
look
her
like
hands
that.
aren't aged at all
Yeah, I
either.
feel like we should just go like have all of them together and
I
just
know.
do everything to us all at once,
I know,
right?
Yes,
It all
I love
sounds
that.
great.
The
Ultimate
ultimate
experience.
kill 3, 4, 5.
I mean, the list is getting so long in my head.
I
I'm like,
know.
I need a red
Blue
mat,
light.
I
We need
need
it
a blue
all.
light.
Peptide shots.
I need some
That's it.
peptide
1x7.
shots. One by
Superheroes. We need
Beamer
superheroes.
mat. RTL.
We
I'm
need
gonna
it
need a
all.
sponsor.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We're going to jump out of the red light district for
Totally.
a minute, but when we come back, we're going to
She's
talk to our nurse, and she's going to tell us the ins and outs of injectables and the hot new trends. And we're back with TNT, and we are having a beauty banging time with these hot beauty babes. And now we are going to talk about fillers and injectables, and we need to know latest, greatest, everything. Tammy, you got to fill us in from Gravity Med Spa.
I want to.
What are we missing out on?
So at Gravity Med Spa, my specialty is really injectables, facial balancing. So I utilize both neurotoxins and fillers, as well as a more natural alternative to fillers called Easy Gel, or it is a filler type substance made from the patient's own blood products.
Wow.
Spun down, we take out the platelet-rich fibrin, and then it goes through a heating and a cooling process and forms a filler-like consistency of that product. And it's injected into specific areas. And so not only are you getting the benefit of volumization in those areas, but you're also getting benefit of the growth factors in the PRF that are rejuvenating skin from the inside.
And what was the
That's
name of it
incredible.
again?
So it's Easy Gel.
Easy Gel. All right. I like
Oh,
so-
Easy Gel.
Easy Gel.
I know Easy Gel. I just realized.
Good. I was like, I
So
haven't
you
heard
take
of
For
it
a
yet.
minute, I was like, wait, that's so cool.
Yeah. So you take the patient's blood,
We do. So
and then what's the next step?
and then it gets spun in a centrifuge. That centrifuge separates the red blood cells, white blood cells from what we want, which is the platelet-rich plasma,
Right.
as well as we draw 2 tubes, spin one to get the platelet-rich plasma, spin the second one to get albumin, which is a protein.
Okay.
And then those are sort of heated, chilled, mixed together, and that creates this Easy Gel.
Oh, wow.
Right.
So for people, say, that have maybe that
then you
are
inject
immune-
it?
you know, have immune disorders, we inject it.
Oh, okay.
So it can be injected in its unprocessed form, so like not as a filler consistency, but
Right.
as a liquid. I do that for hair restoration and rejuvenating under eyes sometimes, or just where skin is crepey. But if someone needs volume as well, when it's made into that gel-like consistency, that's where the Easy Gel comes in. For people that are maybe afraid of putting something into themselves that, like a hyaluronic acid filler, although they're very safe, many people just want to go with a more natural alternative. So that's available for
That's
them.
amazing.
Did you come up with the name Easy Gel?
I didn't.
I was like, I haven't heard this yet because I know about PRF.
Right.
Mhm.
We do that, but I didn't know that you.
No,
what is the
it's
name of the
the-
protein?
Albumin.
Albumin.
Yeah.
This is good
Albumin.
for doctors that are listening that want to expand their practice because they don't have that at my
Yeah, and
practice
it's,
right now.
it's a whole system.
did-
So
We
it,
do PRF, but I didn't know about the.
right. So this is one. There's Dr. Keon Karimi. He's a double board certified plastic surgeon in Beverly Hills, and he's actually who I went and learned PDO threads from a bazillion years ago. But he is the medical director, I believe, for the company that manufactures all of the products for the Easy Gel.
Oh,
So when you sign up or whatever, or get their products, you get the centrifuge, you get the cooling unit, you get the heating unit, and
It's a
then
thing,
there are these kits that come with everything you need in order to process it all, draw the blood, all the syringes, even
because
the
I thought we were
cannulas.
doing good with PRF because we went from PRP to PRF, and now I got to do the Easy
Now
Gel.
you have to get Easy
It's
Gel.
always
I gotta tell
evolving.
Dr.
Yeah,
Fred.
now that
right?
you can like
That's
process
good.
it into a formulation that'll provide volume as well as regeneration of cells.
I
It's
love
pretty
that.
cool.
And then what about pedio threads? Okay, like help me understand threads because I know we see it online. Everybody's getting it. I've
I
seen
just
you
got
get
mine
it.
3 days ago.
Yeah.
I
You
thought
saw
on
it?
that.
Good, yeah.
But like,
Looks
where
really
does
good.
it like? So I don't understand. So like, does it help the collagen build? Is it pulling upwards? Like, if it's like pulling a little bit, like what is it connecting to? Like, I don't understand how it works.
So there's a lot of information out there, but there's not a lot of like technical information. But
Right.
there are two types of pedio threads that are used like in aesthetics practices. One of them are barbed threads or cogged threads, and those threads, yes, they do lift.
Right.
Then there are smooth threads, and smooth threads are literally that. They're just smooth little strips of this PDO or polydioxanone, which is literally dissolvable suture.
Right.
Same suture that's been used to sew up internally in surgeries for over 30 years. So whoever the brilliant physician was that decided to make them and say, let's put them in skin, I love him forever. But
Really?
Sculptra, is it the same thing as
it
Sculptra?
is, well, there are PLL threads,
Right.
PLL8 threads.
Right.
I don't use those at this point in time. I really love the PDO.
Right.
But the lifting threads, they don't really anchor to anything.
Right.
They're a thread with a smooth space in the middle. That was hard to say.
Right.
And then barbs going one way and barbs going another way.
Right.
They're inserted into tissue and they go between the underside of our fat, the subcutaneous fat, and then
Right.
something called the SMAS, which is a fascial layer, like it's
Mhm.
fascia.
Right.
And so in that plane, there's really not any vessels or nerves, so it's not a painful
So it's like
thing in
super
there.
safe too.
It is. If with the right provider,
Right.
it's entirely safe.
3 days
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah, it's entirely
Totally
safe. So those
Really?
lifting threads are placed, and most of my threads, I do, it's called reverse vector lifting.
Right.
And they go actually up into the scalp.
Oh,
This is
wow.
a beautiful tight space. And so even though my threads don't have an anchor,
Right.
they do have a tight space in which to grip onto tissue and
So it
really
still
give us a
grips and
nice,
then
beautiful
pulls.
lift. Right.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing is because I don't put threads into mobile tissue, meaning like next to your nose where this moves, or next to your mouth where you kind of get those marionette sort of.
That's my biggest
issues.
problem. I'm always like, is threads gonna help this like starting to
The
happen
marionette.
here?
Smooth
'Cause,
threads
like,
will.
Yeah,
Smooth-
she's like smooth. She
Yeah,
loves
well,
it. She's like smooth threads will do
You
it.
do a combo of lifting threads.
Right.
Because my technique is very different. I trained with a physician who's just out of this world, but it's all reverse vector lifting, and it's all done on the periphery of the face.
Right.
And so it's done in such a way that as those threads are dissolving, when they're dissolving, they're building collagen. And so it sort of is creating a scaffolding, if you will,
That's interesting.
as it's dissolving, leaving behind structure. So if you do the lifting threads to give yourself, some repositioning of tissue, and then you do smooth threads on top of that to strengthen the skin in an area where you're starting to
Yes.
see
Right.
sag or droop.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It's like,
Almost drives
it's
you
double
nuts.
trouble. It's like
Yeah.
so good.
It's double trouble. It's a double whammy.
Do you see something right after? I mean, do you feel a difference now that you just had yours, Annina?
Yeah, I mean, my before and after is insane. She would be able to tell. Literally, the PDO thread, they just did 2,
Right.
and they pulled tight and then tied the little knot off, and yeah, it's just like a full-on little mini facelift.
Right.
Yeah, and if like for whatever this rarely happens, but I've done threads a good amount of time.
Right.
And one time my nurse wasn't really good on the left side, and she didn't pull it as much, and you could see,
That it
you know,
was.
one side was pulled tighter than the other. So that's why it's really
Really?
good to go to somebody like her,
That
because
knows.
she's trained with such an elite doctor in the field.
Right. That's
And
wild.
so after you
I
get them in
love
there,
it.
then it starts to build the collagen. When do you expect to see your best results?
So with lifting threads and with my technique, I actually overlift just a little bit, because with
I love it.
I know.
Can you put him in my ass?
I actually have lifted asses. I lifted
Oh,
breasts.
Oh my God, you
I'll
can't.
be right over.
You know what? Knees.
Oh,
Women,
wow.
You would
I
be
did.
shocked at how much people ask. I have a cream for the chest that people use on the knees. How much women really hate their knees, and that's
And
what
it's,
Yes.
it's actually that spot above the knees,
Yeah.
where this starts to come down, and then you get.
Does it work there too? Then
Yes.
on your elbow.
It works
like
anywhere you have
You can
skin.
put smooth
I didn't know
threads
that you can do the
anywhere.
threads in
100%.
on your body too. I had someone, because people are so kind on social media. There was a picture of me, like a housewives lineup years ago, and someone wrote me and said, "Your knees look old."
And
And I
you're
wrote her
like,
back and
"Thanks."
said, "You should see my ass."
You
So
should.
that's how I feel about it. But your knees really do show the aging, and now I'm so much more hesitant. Not because of her,
Yeah.
but to wear shorter
Yeah.
things that I would have normally worn
I
without
had,
the.
I had a
Right.
patient come in yesterday and we did, so I'll do a large rectangle that starts just at that wrinkly spot
Yeah.
right above the knee. I actually will inject hyperdilute Radius.
Smart.
So Radius, and we dilute it down so it's not a filler, it's just a collagen stimulator.
Okay, so tell people what Radius
Wow.
is.
So
for people that don't
Radius
know.
is a dermal filler, but instead of the other fillers like Juvederm or Restylane, it's not a hyaluronic acid filler. It's made from calcium hydroxyapatite. So they're little tiny calcium microspheres in like a gel carrier. So we've known for a very long time that Radius, being a calcium filler, is a collagen stimulator. But for years and years, we just used it as a really great replacement for structure, like
I
jawline,
love it.
cheeks, anywhere where we're really noticing like hollowness or
Hollow.
loss of structure. It's beautiful for that. But then they've done so many studies now, and with the hyperdilute formula, in my opinion, because I've used both
Right.
hyperdilute Radius and Sculptra, hyperdilute Radius is above and
Amazing.
beyond. It is, and then you put smooth threads on top of that.
Ooh.
So hyperdilute Radius in the
That's
legs,
true.
smooth threads
I'm
on
getting
top of
turned
that.
on.
Our
I
list is
know,
getting
like this
so
is-
long.
It's true.
Oh
I
my
love
gosh,
it.
that sounds
Oh my gosh,
incredible.
yes. I mean, I've done my inner arms. Like I took the Ozempic train
Yes,
as a
you did.
woman of a certain age, being very postmenopausal, put on some weight, couldn't get it off. I needed to lose like 35 pounds. But at 62 years of age, that does not snap back.
Right. It's not the same.
You
Yeah.
look great, by the way.
I know. I was
Thank
like, she
you.
just said she was
Gorgeous. I was seeing
62,
that.
and I'm like,
I was
what?
I was
See
like, I want to do
everybody skinny?
everything.
If you see everybody in skinny in Hollywood, it's because of Ozempic.
I know you see the
You see
Instagrams
Oprah,
all the time.
She talks about it.
Really? Is Oprah taking Ozempic?
Yeah, she did
Yeah.
a whole
She got in
documentary
trouble
on it.
because she was part of Weight Watchers, so they
Right.
dropped her from Weight Watchers because she was
Why?
talking about
She was part owner.
Yeah.
yeah. So she had to leave because she was
She bought
Oh my
stock in
gosh.
Ozempic after she left.
yeah.
Oh
yeah.
wow!
Right, I would too.
Scandal at
Yeah.
TNT today.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever. So after you get the threads, how
Yes.
long do they last? Is it going to go away after a while? Do they just dissolve and everything goes back
We
to where it used to
continue to
live?
age. Regardless of anything that we do, there's always maintenance involved because we continue to age if we're lucky.
Right.
If we're
Okay.
blessed, right?
Amen.
I love that
Yeah.
you added that.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
Because it
Um,
is, no matter what you look like
Yeah.
or it's about how you feel, and we're lucky for every day we have.
100%.
So you, of course, want to feel good about yourself, but I love that
Absolutely.
you said if you're lucky enough to age,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
then you have the honor to try to
If-
get Botox so you can feel better about the way you look.
That's exactly. You have honor
I
to do
love
all
that.
the things to feel
Right.
better. Oh, and was it you that mentioned dry brushing? You did
Yeah.
for lymphatic. It's one of my biggest recommendations for patients too, just for aging skin because our skin cells don't turn over as quickly as they used to.
Oh, that's
I dry
interesting.
brush before every shower because for I don't know, like 2 years, I would notice I put my moisturizer on and like 2 hours later you could look down and I'd be like lizard skin. on
Oh,
my
that's
face.
like
And
what
I
I'm
had
going
what the
through.
heck?
Yeah,
Dry
I have really
brushing
dry skin.
totally
Yeah, I have
helps.
really
Well,
dry
yeah, the
skin.
moisturizer can't get through that layer of dead skin that's sitting
Oh,
on the
that's
surface
interesting.
to get
Yeah.
into actually nourish your skin.
Correct.
So now I do dry brushing and then I mix in retin A with my body oil.
Yes.
And that goes everywhere.
Fancy.
But
Well,
Smart.
it's funny. I had to spray tan, and I have a lot of sunspots, and when I spray tan, I look like a leopard
Right.
because all the brown spots get darker. So I've been trying different nasal retinols
Oh my gosh.
on my brown spots. So when I spray tan, I'm seeing what's working.
So
I'm
it's
actually like
even.
a science project
Yeah, I was gonna say.
because I love spray tanning and I want to be tan, but I hate how they all come out because of that. And it's helping so much. So it's so fun. And I don't know if you've ever heard of Maxell, but it's in San Clemente. Have you guys ever heard of Maxell?
I live in San Clemente.
Okay, it's a lymphatic drainage specialist. Her name's Sylvia. She's amazing. She actually trained me, but she does mostly body, but she also teaches for face, and she opened a place in Brentwood. But she taught me years ago, and I'm her biggest fan. Is you dry brush on your left side first, and then your right, because your body detoxes on the left. So you do and you just
Wait,
want
so
to
you
go
do your
left side first.
left side
Left
first. Okay, I did
And
not know
it's
that.
Little light strokes all the way up towards
Yeah.
your heart. So everything's just towards your heart, and it is amazing for your lymphatic system, for your cell, like your products work better, your skincare works better. But it's that one part that doesn't know how it needs the extra love, and even just the manual putting on the lotion, going
Right.
on your left side first, going up towards your heart, really does help your lymphatic system, and it doesn't take much. I mean, just a little quick love
Yeah.
is like game changer for
Right.
your body.
So when you brush up on the left, then you still on the right, you still brush up
Yeah,
on
correct.
both sides.
Yeah.
You don't have to
So you
push
go
it
up
down.
on this side, then up on this side, and you do it dry before you get in the shower.
Yeah.
And then when you shower, your skin exfoliates.
It's like remembering to put your moisturizer on your neck first because you won't do it if you put it on your face first.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, it's like a joke. in the industry, like your earlobes too. You don't ever think about doing your earlobes. So put it on your earlobes first,
Right.
because your earlobes age with you.
It's
Mine
true.
still I had them lasered, so I could still feel the
And you
little
can put
bits from the
radius in
laser.
your earlobes too.
You can put.
What
You can
about
put it anywhere.
What about for people? Oh, I don't have earrings in. That is so not like
I
me.
know, that's
oh
so
my
weird.
God, I can't.
That's what's
I'm
different
naked.
about you.
I'm naked.
Oh,
I-
Amber's naked.
Oh
She's
my
naked.
God,
You know
I
what?
have
The naked
never-
truth
and she's
is
telling the
happening.
truth.
Like in the followers.
I can't leave without lipstick and earrings. This is really weird. Wow.
This-
But my
happened
earrings, my
today.
ears are really bothering me because I wear big earrings.
Mhm.
And is there anything fun for that? Because that's something that's a common question that I don't have an answer for.
Ear
Yeah.
filler is one of the best things ever.
Yes.
It really
Yeah.
does.
And as you
I'm
get
going,
older
Yes,
too, like you can have
because
your
it
ears.
thins out. You've worn earrings forever. We wear
So
heavy
what kind
earrings.
of filler would you do for that? I want to book.
I tend to love either Restylane L, which
Okay.
is like the original Restylane
Yep.
L, or I'll use Juvederm Ultra.
Okay.
One or the other.
Restylane lift.
And it must just take a.
Oh,
Is it
no,
different?
lift is different.
Different.
Lift
It's different.
Yeah, lift is good
I was
cheek,
gonna say,
chin,
yeah.
but Resty L for
There's so many different products now.
There
like, how do you know
are.
what the best product is? Because like we know Botox, and we know what's the other one that's
But
the big
Dysport,
filler?
yeah,
Dysport.
the average consumer shouldn't have to know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they should be going to a
Right.
provider that can sit down and assess them and their lifestyle, because
Right.
it has a lot to do with those different things.
Like if you're active, like if you're more active, do like certain fillers like wear off faster or slower or
pretty much if you're active, like say if someone's a long distance runner or they're a fitness trainer or something like that, anything is going to last less long.
right?
Right.
So
Just because you're more active.
correct. Now,
Circulation.
when you're talking fillers, though, we could go back to Radiesse, because Radiesse is not an HA filler. That won't metabolize as quickly as like a Juvederm or a Restylane.
Okay, so what
If
does
you're using it as
HA
volume.
filler mean?
Oh, hyaluronic acid.
Okay, hyaluronic acid.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so any filler that's hyaluronic acid, so that's all your Juvederms and all of your
Right.
Restylane fillers, your RHA filler, your Versa fillers.
Right.
There's so many of them out now. But
That's
your
incredible.
provider should be able to assess you, assess your lifestyle, assess your needs. Like, what
Right.
is it aesthetically that you would like to do?
Yeah.
And because all of the fillers work best for certain things in the
Yeah.
face, certain areas of the face. There are smoother fillers that are great for like shadows. There are really nice stiff fillers that are great for actually lifting.
Right.
So that you're
I feel like it's a little bit like prescriptions now because there's so much advertising
Yes.
that the consumer gets for things that it's like you feel like you already know what you want when you go, and then you kind of bypass them, letting them tell you what you actually need.
Right?
Yeah, we
We're
always
like-
need to listen.
It's the same
Definitely
like when you go to the doctor, you're like, I saw this ad and I think I want to try blah blah blah. Instead of your doctor being like really listening to you and coming up with the best solution. I think just because of all the advertising, we always kind of have an idea of what we
It's
want.
overwhelming. It's totally
Yeah.
overwhelming. And then I'm a Gemini, so then I'm like, please don't tell me there's 8 different fillers because there's 8 of me, and then I'm going to be confused. And so just somebody else, please just
And
tell
I'm
me.
a
I'm coming
Gemini
in, Tammy,
too.
you're in charge. You tell me what I need. What
Yeah,
about
she's a
lasers
Gemini.
after fillers? Is that a
Lasers.
no?
not necessarily.
Okay, they don't melt the fillers.
Usually when I sit down with a patient, say at a consultation, I will talk to them about, what is really beautiful about them,
That's
and then, well, what is it that you really would like to see improved, and they'll have something, so if it's a textural issue, or they've got hyperpigmentation or sunspots, but then they also have volume loss and lines because they've never had Botox or things like that. I usually try to map out a plan. And I always believe that no matter what I put in somebody's face, if their skin doesn't look pretty, it's not going to, I could put all the filler and Botox in the world, and it's still going to be unhealthy looking skin.
That's why you guys work together like perfectly.
That's why we call the
Yeah.
esthetician the gateway drug to the
Yeah,
nurse. because
100%.
We'll get their skin right, and then we're like, okay, the volume loss under the eyes.
Right.
And
And
then-
depending on the laser, sometimes I will do some laser and I can do Botox immediately afterward. I won't usually do filler immediately afterward. And I would never do Botox and filler and then do a laser. I try to split everything up by about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Right.
Do you think it would be a laser first to just kind of see where their skin goes to know how much filler they need, or do you think
Exactly.
Okay.
So just to see what improvements we can
so
get.
then they might need less filler and less Botox because the lasers
right.
can tighten
Oh,
so
that
much?
makes
Oh,
sense.
absolutely. Especially when you're talking about something like a fractional CO2 laser,
Which I
and the
want,
skin tightening
Ah.
and things that you get
Then you
with
need
that.
less filler and Botox. So it's kind of you save money
Right.
at the
And
end
your
if you do.
skin looks good.
Oh yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Like,
I
I
wanna
feel like
ask
I
her
try
what
to
her
hold
favorite
off.
treatment is.
I know, what is
What's your favorite treatment?
Yeah.
Full facial balancing. I mean, I had 2 patients yesterday that came in for just full facial balancing. Both of them were beautiful. Both of them had something that bothered them. Like one just had a little bit of a heavy lower face. These young girls in their 30s. But it was just the shape of her face and her genetics. And so I started at the top and kind of worked my way down. And she had already like kind of some hollow temples.
Yeah.
So we started and we did temples, and then we did the rear of the jawline, and then I gave her some chin, which then kind of gave her a heart-shaped face rather than such a round face. And then we did nose.
Yes.
Nose
love
filler.
it?
Oh, wait,
Oh
what'd
my
you do on the
gosh.
nose filler? Because I have a friend that wants it.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So what is? Tell me what that is.
So depending on the person and what it is that they're looking to achieve, I'm going to say the majority of my patients are either they've got a small bump that they'd like to camouflage, or maybe they had a prior rhinoplasty and it didn't turn out quite as they had hoped, or maybe they took a little too much off the top or something like that. They're
That
little
happens.
tiny corrections done with hyaluronic acid filler. I most often use Juvederm Voluma or Restylane Lift. Either one of those is really great. And you just inject along the bridge if we're trying to correct a lump, or many people just want like a cute little upturned tip.
Yeah, I think that's what my friend wants. Is that
And
cute
so,
little tip.
yeah, I just call it a little princess tip.
Little
But
princess.
same type of thing. The thing that I do like to talk to people about is that it's an area fraught with vessels. There are a ton of vessels
That's
here.
scary.
So, and these vessels lead to the eyes. So
Have to have
there
a
have
professional.
been a lot of recorded incidences of blindness that
Yeah.
comes from filler in the nose. So they just want to make sure that you vet your provider well.
Wow, that's good.
Ask for before and afters. I have them all over my Instagram, because it can be very dangerous. And along those lines as well, you want to make sure that your provider knows what to do should something happen. Do they have all of the equipment on hand that they need? All of the dissolving agent for hyaluronic acid filler? Do they have anything for any sort of medical emergency that could come from? Because these things we do they're medications. They're prescribed drugs.
Yeah,
So
we take
Botox
it-
is a medication. A filler is really classified as a drug.
We
or an
take it to
implant.
heart, but it is actually, and that's one thing I learned working in a cosmetic surgery center once upon a time.
Yes.
Is that there is like risks involved in things, and so it was working there that I was like, wow, you really need to find a vetted person that's done all of the training, years of experience. Like I think 5 years of experience before you start doing the nose, or at least a couple years.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
It's
I was
like-
probably 8 years.
Because things can literally go wrong. And so I feel like you really have to know the questions to ask, and to vet people. Definitely recommends from a friend or something like
Mhm.
that.
When I
It's the
would
way to
manage
go.
med spas, I would put a big, the artery picture of the face.
Yep.
And I would want to put it in the back. So when my nurse was looking while
Right.
they were injecting, they had that right there. But my doctor's like, no,
No.
we don't want people to just freak out and see
To
that.
see
But
that.
it's a
The
really
cheat
good
sheet on the
how-to
wall.
sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a little scary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's very scary.
It's-
I love my nail salon, don't get me wrong, but they do Botox there. And I was like, this does not seem like the place I would be getting Botox. It's just
Right.
so
At
mainstream
the nail
now.
salon.
Well,
And-
and that's a beautiful segue into the fact that 9 states now have had people hospitalized from getting counterfeit Botox that has actually caused symptoms of botulism.
Wow.
It's true. And
Wow.
I've done facials before where I've had to use radio frequency to try to take out concrete that somebody put into their face from when they went to Mexico.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
I know. I hear about people going down.
I've
to
heard
getting
stories,
things
too, about
done
Mexico.
in Colombia and all over the
Yeah.
place. I'm
Or just
no.
being at a nail
you
place,
had to
they'll
just-
have a nurse
yeah,
say
I
that
mean-
they're a nurse and it
Right.
will be fake.
It's not
Right.
happened in California yet, but it has in New York, a couple of tri-state locations. But these people are getting symptoms of botulism. So it's like blurry vision, dry mouth,
This is
difficulty
so scary.
swallowing.
Right?
And now we've tried to get this field regulated for so long, and there's really almost no oversight, which is so
Yeah.
super sad.
It's like a lot of fields actually that there's not a
It's
lot of
Wild
That's why I
Wild
wanted to
West.
say for Ozempic too, don't buy it online.
Right.
I had a couple girls
and
get
treat
kidney
yourself.
stones.
No,
yeah.
no.
Really?
Kidney stones, yeah,
It's
because
a
they're
drug.
Yeah,
It
you want
is
to
a-
get it from your provider.
And it's a drug
Yeah.
with a lot of
In-house.
side effects. Yeah, and that you should be being monitored.
Yes, you don't want to
Labs
buy
need
it
to be
online,
done.
have it go into your mailbox, mix it yourself, and pull up a YouTube video and mix your
It's
Ozempic
so
and inject it. You don't
interesting,
wanna do
right?
that.
Like the internet has changed the world in so many ways.
People
Because
microneedle
just
themselves.
the access to all
Yeah.
this stuff.
Mhm.
Like you can go on Alibaba.com and buy like an actual like full filler thing and have it delivered to your house. And then there's people like watching YouTube videos. I saw it
Yep.
of a girl trying to inject her own
No,
lips.
There's a whole community of DIYers that do
Like
their own
DIY
stuff.
Botox.
This is not a
though.
place to
That's
do
not
it
it.
yourself.
No,
my
absolutely
goodness.
not.
DIYer.
No,
And
it's-
microneedling is one of the things that keep me in business when people do it themselves,
Right.
because they're opening the pores, and then they don't know. They'll go in the jacuzzi, they'll get bacteria.
Right.
It causes so
Oh.
much breakouts. And healthy skincare, I tell people, if you had to do one thing, like the skincare is kind of like your nutrients, or you're like your nutrition. So it's like you eat healthy, you want your body healthy, it's the nutrition. So it's like the first thing you want to do is eat good and have good skincare, because then we can handle more treatments and like.
Right.
So they kind of fall in. I had identical twin sisters. Okay, they look exactly alike. They're so cute. This is like an accidental case study, and they're from Newport. They're cute. I'm not gonna say their names, but they're really cute. And they're adorable. I love them. And one of them has been coming once a month for years and getting microdermabrasion, and she has the same 3 products. Some of it was Epicure and some of it was mine. She has her products. Okay, and she went and did a fractal laser, and it was unbelievable. I'm talking about, I was her biggest fan. I was like, whoa, it was a CO2. And she just looked amazing. Now, her identical twin sister, who looks exactly like her, went to the same doctor to get the same laser. He did the same exact thing her sister did, because they're identical twins. And well, that girl only used whatever was on a free gift at Nordstrom's. Estee Lauder, whatever, Lancome. And she got her facial. She got microdermabrasions a couple times a year. She never
but totally different
and she did,
outcome.
and she turned into hamburger meat.
What?
Hamburger meat. Her skin couldn't handle the laser. This is how I learned by accident.
My gosh.
And so the doctor was super frustrated. They called me, and I was like, well, this is what she's been using. She was using peptides when they first came out. Her sisters can handle more treatment because
so just heal that?
she was, because her sister was taking care of her skin.
It was
she
preconditioned.
exfoliating-
It's of retinol, an exfoliant. She
An
was using
exfoliating
medical
and
grade
peptides.
exfoliants, so when
And
she did the laser, it worked.
It could handle it.
They can
So
handle
I
it.
tell people, we're like all friends. So if someone's getting monthly facials, especially like microdermabrasion, and they're doing red light, and they're eating good, and they go to do lasers and fillers, their response is so good. So
So
if you're,
surgery, CO2,
Anything
lasers,
that
filler,
has
Botox.
to do with skin.
and so
anything.
I learned my lesson that when people say, I want to go get a laser, I'm like, great, let's get you hydrated. Let's get you some good skincare. These are things that we could do before, because you will love the results.
Pre-prepping.
You'll love them because of me. You know what I mean? And if we do a couple micros, so then if they're going to do lasers for brown spots, a couple micros can get a lot of the resurfacing. So it's easier. There's less stuff to do. and
Teamwork
skin's
makes the
healthier,
dream work.
right?
I know,
It
it's
is.
like working out. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to go run the marathon, you got to keep up the pace. That's why we
Yeah.
have a whole team of beauty experts, and we can learn
Absolutely.
all the latest and greatest. And we're gonna have to do this like once a month, because I don't think we could ever get through it all with these.
There's so much
beauty
information on
babes.
this couch.
There
with these
is.
amazing
I know,
We could
it's
like
people.
pick one
so
topic
much.
a show.
I know.
Right?
I think
It's
we're
really
gonna have
tons
to.
of
We're gonna have to
information on it.
really
I
like.
love it.
do
I want to
our
learn
beauty
more.
Learn it
biz
all.
Me
the
too.
time.
I can't
We got to
wait.
get out on the street and try it.
Yeah, let's do it
Yeah,
for sure. Well,
for
we're
sure.
coming in for every single thing you do, from
Thank you so
lasers
much.
to skincare to facials to Botox to Jupiter. We're gonna look great, Gemma.
I
Yeah.
know.
It's happening,
We
and we're
already
getting it
look
from the
so
pros.
I know, we already look
How do
so
we improve
good.
that?
We're
I just don't know.
I love
It's
everything.
so
Well,
good.
Thank
Thank
you,
you so
ladies,
much.
so much for joining the Beauty Bang today. You're all amazing, and I really appreciate your time and your expertise. So we're gonna see you again soon.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
This is TNT with Taylor.
Out.
Do we want to tell all of our
Shit, yes.
social
Let's do
media
that. We'll just
stuff?
wrap. I'll just do the wrap again. I'm gonna say
I
thank you.
smell
I'm gonna say
food.
thank you, and then
I
I'm
know,
gonna say
right?
tell us
We're
where
all
they can
hungry.
tell everyone. I'm gonna wrap the end again. Where
I
you
smell
go?
Mexican food.
Did he leave? It's okay. I'll just wrap. I can just wrap the end. I forgot. Thanks for bringing that up. Okay. All right. Well, this has been a blast. All of our beauty babe experts.
love it.
We've learned so much, but there's so much more to learn. So you all have to come back and keep us abreast of the latest and greatest, and all the things to look forward to, and all the things that we're not doing, and the things we can do better. There's so much to talk about. Thank you so much for being here. Where can everyone find you?
Oh, that's a great question. So I am Facial Lounge on Instagram, TikTok, and our website is faciallounge.com.
Great.
Awesome.
And you can find me at Annina's Aesthetics, ANNINAS Aesthetics. I'll let you spell that out for yourself.
And I'm at Gravity Medical Spa. And you can also find me on Instagram at Gorgeous by Tammy Lee, TAMMYLEE. And you can also find out more information at Gravity Med Spa on Instagram.
And we're going to
Awesome.
have all this information for you. And it's TNT with Taylor. Check us out on Instagram as well. And we'll be sharing all of these beauty tips and also the links. Take care.